Hey, howdy do everybody, and welcome back to stream time of a Pokemon. Yeah, you got Pokemon. I got some grapes in a bowl. Oh, great. Turns out Hoppip makes a really annoying sound. Oh. Funny how that works. Oh, there's a Gimme Ghoul thing up here. Let's go get a Gimme Ghoul. But, yeah. Exciting news. I found a... Well, I shouldn't say I found. Austin John Plays found a better method for shiny hunting. Than using the sparkling power sandwiches. Sorry, I'm a little hungry. I'm like super hungry, so I just got some grapes. I figure I'll play for a little bit. Do a little stream time. Oh, I just want his coins. I figure while we're here. $30. Not terrible. But, yeah. I wonder what power this schmoople is. Item. This is kind of something I wish... I guess you just gotta poke it. 5-star only, yeah. We're not gonna... Well, with that, we're gonna go head on to online mode. September 1st, okay. I keep forgetting when Mewtwo event's supposed to start. But yeah. Once I get people joining in, we can actually figure out, like, what, if the sandwich method works on other places. The problem is that this sandwich method doesn't really super work great for, like, the water, for example, where everything is a water type. That's gonna go terribly. Poison bug, alright, we can fight that. But yeah, I tried it out a little yesterday. I had a little time. I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna play the Pokemon, because I was just searching around on it. And I came across, I was like, you know what, let me give this a shot. And it works. Basically, if you go watch his video, what did he call it? I think he called it, like, it's something like type limited. Now let's try and join again. It was something like type limited, like limited area, like shiny hunting. But basically the idea is that you find an area where your Pokemon is, where it does, that you want to shiny hunt, where it doesn't share a type with any other Pokemon nearby it. I think for no. For an example, let's fight the Psychic Hat, I guess. See if that's available. Sorry, I'm eating grapes. I'm just like, oh, you see how you do the thing is hum. No, so like the example is there's I guess a cave entrance where the lion, I forget what the lion Pokemon is called, but the lion Pokemon is normal and fire type. And there's a cave entrance near the snowy mountain area. Alright. Let's just go ahead and do one of these. Why not? Where it spawns. Well, in that area, there's only in that small area only where it spawns. Moople. You know what? Fuck it. Skeleturge. It'll do good enough. But yeah. So he makes a two. Well, actually, he did it with a level 1 power. Encounter type fire sandwich. Then so that way they just spawned all over, like only that like would really spawn. I was personally trying out his method with a encounter type 2 sandwich. I brought the wrong fire type. Why'd I bring skeleton? Oh, whatever. What is wrong with me today? Let's actually at least get Star. Nonsense. Let's do that too. There we go. Catching a Pokeball. But yeah, by increasing the encounters of fire type, you decrease the encounter type of the other Pokemon, so you mainly get that Pokemon now. So that Pokemon is spawning a lot more, which means as you walk through an area, you get pretty much just that Pokemon and a lot more of it. So you're not increasing your odds, and then you just actually, once I get out of here, I can kind of show it off. Yep. But yeah, as we're like walking around here, like that Hoppip, if I get too far away, it despawns. And so you just kind of run around the area then, going like, okay, spawned I spawned all these young gooses. The young goose. And then, I walk over here, and none of them were shiny, so I walk away and I despawn them. Well, then I walk over to the same area again to spawn some more. Oh, those are different Pokemon. And so you're playing more of a, you're still playing the lottery of the shiny Pokemon, and you have about base odds. I'm pretty sure with this method, like, you pretty much need the shiny charm. I don't know if your odds would be good enough to pull it off without the shiny charm. Is that a shiny? Is that a Terra Pokemon or a raid battle? No, it's a Terra Pokemon. What is that even? Oh, it's the Diglett. But yeah, you just kind of go back and forth, and then you just spawning and despawning. Every time you don't see a shiny, you just get out of the area and despawn those guys, and then respawn another one. And it turns out it works out pretty well. But yeah, I actually got 3 shiny Pokemon yesterday doing that. I got my Lechonk. And then there was a Magikarp outbreak. Actually, hold on, let me see what outbreaks are going on today. There was actually a Magikarp outbreak like right here. That's why I started there. There's a fish. Venomoth again in like the same area too. It's kind of wild. Glimmet. I can't fucking tell the difference between shiny and not shiny. Glimmet. Also fucking Slowpoke. Oh, there's a Ghastly. Oh. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a thing. You know what we're saying? You know, we'll do a thing. But yeah, this is actually gonna be a little strange because it's looks like that Ghastly outbreak's right by the city. Every time you enter a city, it pretty much like immediately despawns the Pokemon. So if I see a shiny Ghastly, but I get a little too close to the edge of the city, it might go, haha, fuck you. But yeah. So actually making a ghost type power-up sandwich might not be the worst idea here. Also, because it's not nighttime, because it is daytime, there are no Ghastlies to be seen. Also, it didn't give me... Oh, maybe because there's no outbreak quote, because it's daytime. So do I just have to wait for nighttime? Oh, so what kind of a... Oh, I don't think this is more than a 5-star raid. 4 against a skunk. I don't need to do that. But yeah, I guess while we're waiting for people to jump on anyway, it might not be the worst. Just go ahead and head over to the 0 gate. And just grind out these last few levels on these couple Pokemon I got left still. I think we might just try and get them all to at least 85. and then candy it from there. Because we have the Chansey raids going on. I've gotten so many candies from the Chansey raids, which has been nice, but I don't really see a need to if that wasn't the case, oh, sorry, not Chansey, Blissey. Whatever. Same difference. If the raids weren't happening, I would probably grind these out a little more, but, you know. I've got better things to do with my life. Well, apparently not, because I'm still grinding out levels on fucking motherfuckers. By the way, sandwiches work for Area 0 too. I think you just have to, like, set up the picnic right outside the 0 gate. Then then walk through it. I don't think you can teleport. I think teleporting cancels the sandwich effects. Did I give Cloister the lucky egg? Okay, good, he's got it. Actually, what's everyone else at? Oh, and while I'm just grinding out levels, let's just turn back on autosave. And we'll save the adventure again. I didn't even take a look at the Pokemon levels. Alright, Mew is kinda but Annihilate and Gengar are getting there. So pretty much I just got... I'll have just Cloister and Mew to really work on soon. Cloister's is one of those Pokemon, like... That's really the thing about Pokemon, is they give you, like, so many cool ones that you want a party of, like, 100. You don't want a party of, like, 6. Granted, the game mechanic designs are completely not designed. Are you a little different of a color, or is that just my imagination? Nope, you're the same color as everyone else. I'll see you later. Like, you can't... It would have to be a completely different type of game for you to have, like, a party of 100. It'd have to be, like, an adventure game, or, like... Probably a very adult-themed game, because that, like, if you have 100 Pokemon that you're trying to train up and, like, be the best they can, it would either have to be, like, a management game, which mostly adults play, or, what the flying fart? Where's my quick ball? Just throw that at the guy. Was that a critical? I think it was. Yes. That's my second shiny Sableye, just that... How the flying fuck does that work? Now saving, yes please. By the way, when you're shiny hunting, you can save scum. I'm not intentionally shiny hunting. I want a level. That's why I'm trying to keep, you know, this autosave feature on. Get back here, you pink bastard. Oh. Because if you find a shiny and then you save... it will, like, say the shiny uses what's the one, like, I think the Pokemon's called like Fortress. It looks like a big bug in a clamshell. um its move that it uses in the wild is Explosion, which makes it faint. So you have one shot to throw a Pokeball at it. And if you want that shiny Fortress in a specific Pokeball too, that means your odds, basically if you want to not use a Quick Ball, your odds are probably like 1. Which aren't super high. I think once you beat the game and you have a few level 100 guys in your party, it's not terrible, but it can be pretty... The odds can be pretty terrible. Especially, I think he's found in an area where there's like level 40 and 50 Pokemon. Or, yeah, 50 and like 55 Pokemon. Although probably an easier way of getting him as a shiny Pokemon would just be to find his, because I think he's the final evolution of a Pokemon line, so I think you just have to find whatever his pre-evolution was and shiny hunt that. Unless shiny hunting that is like, because if that's a small Pokemon with like barely a different color scheme, shiny hunting that might be the worst thing in the world, because you'd probably just pass him up. Be like, the fuck is that, a different color? Put a Annihilate up there. Play the held item, give it to Mr. Annihilate. They really just need to give us, like... I know the Lucky Egg is a good idea, and it's good that they don't give it to you during the game. It's like a post-game item, because that's what its purpose is really for, I think. However, I kind of almost want it to be like the Shiny Charm, or give us like 2 or 3 of them. Because having one is just, it's just silly at this point. Like, just let me level up my Pokemon quickly. Especially now that they've, I remember, I think it was Sword and Shield, like, they started having, like, the multiplayer, they introduced, like, rating and, like, the multiplayer events and stuff like that. Which is fantastic. I think it's great for the community. It keeps people invested in the game for a lot longer, which then lets them sell DLC a lot better. Like, honestly, I don't know if I would have picked up the DLC if I knew, like, if, like, rating and stuff wasn't a thing. Because that's part of my fun with this game. I don't do it a lot, but it is fun, usually. When it works. Who knows? Maybe in the DLC they'll give us a second or third lucky egg. Usually by the end of a Pokemon game's lifespan, they're just kind of throwing whatever at the wall. They're just kind of like, oh, you want a Rayquaza? Yeah, here's an event for like how to be able to get to a place to go catch one. Oh, you want this? You want that? Ah, yeah. Although I do think I'm gonna have to start treating, because I mean, usually, I guess I've already been kind of treating Pokemon like I kind of do Call of Duty, where I almost never get it every year. Call of Duty's been kind of stupid because people at work get excited for it, and then they want to play it, and then they end up playing it for like a month, and then fucking I'm out $70 because everyone played it for a month, and then they made some changes. I don't like the game anymore very much. It also doesn't help that usually that's around the holiday season, and so they have some time to play. Work's usually a little slow around like the after Christmas time. Usually, it wasn't this year, but it's like people go, get to go home a little early and stuff like that, and just kind of go like, yeah, there we go. But yeah, like I got I picked up Modern Warfare 2019 because everyone was saying it was really good, and it was. That one I liked a lot, but then it was I'm skipped out on Cold War because it looked a little like when I saw like the multiplayer stuff and like beta footage, it looked a little jank, and I was also like, I just picked up a Call of Duty. I'm not gonna go grab another one. That'd be silly. Actually, can I start just leveling with Mew? I think I can. Also, let me put away that shiny boy into his right spot. There he is. There's Shiny Pants. Go here. No, actually, let me trade him in spots with there. But yeah, I found. Oh, I gotta find my Lechonk to shove over there too. Aha. This is wild to have two shiny Sableyes. Oh, they have two different Terra types too. Interesting. Actually, let me judge them. I'm judgy. But yeah, no, so I missed out. So I didn't play Cold War, but I'm pretty glad that I didn't. At the end of the day, oh, that's so tiny. That one's so tiny. Oh, but then the next year they were like, "Oh, Vanguard looks like really good," and the reviews were all right. Same as usual, Call of Duty kind of stuff. Oh wow, this Mew only has one damage move. Ow. That almost kind of hurt. I think for the time being, I might teach him a fighting move. Yeah, let's trade somebody in who's actually able to hit back. But maybe we'll just teach it Brick Break, new Brick Break or something for now. Real quick, like. I'm gonna probably replace a lot of these moves with fucking other shit anyway. Remember moves? What can you remember? Any fighting type? No. I don't think Mew even learns a lot of moves because Mew's thing, even since the beginning, was that it has like the DNA of all Pokemon, so therefore it can learn any move. There is no I don't think there's any TM or other move otherwise that it cannot learn. Lowers the target speed stat, but PP of 20, that's pretty good for just grinding out some levels. Do have a Brick Break. Drain Punch is the same damage, but only 10 PP. And that's mainly what I'm going for here, is just the PP. Sometimes you just gotta... I just need something that's like 75 or 80 damage with like a decent amount of PP. And so far that looks like Brick Break. I also kind of want to just red dot that top there. I don't know why it bugs me though. Aura Sphere is not a very good idea because it's a special attack and Chansey has a high special defense. Fire Pledge. Call fire hit when used with its grass counterpart. This move's power is boosted and a vast sea of fire appears. Oh, so that's only used full in like double battles. Focus Blast, what are you? Only 5 PP. It's probably one of those ones that also like lowers your attack or some bullshit afterwards. Oh yeah, Terra Blast. Terra Blast actually for... I wonder if that'll be kind of a thing, actually, now I'm reading that. Yeah, we'll just teach a Brick Break. Instead of, Light Screen, because I think I have another Light Screen TM. I'm pretty sure I can make a Light Screen TM pretty easy, too. Oh, let me just rearrange moves really quick. There we go. But, yeah, all this Pokemon knowledge is just completely intertwined with my ability to even speak properly in terms of, like, synapses and all that jazz. Imprison? The fuck's... I just want to see what Imprison is. The opposing Pokemon know any move also known by the user that prevented from using it. Oh, that could be really funny. if you just had a support Mew in these raids, you teach it every move the Mewtwo in the raid is gonna have. Or like 3 of the moves. And then if you have like a Dark Terra type one, so that way it's immune to psychic attacks. After it terastallizes. You could have an immune Mew. I wonder if they thought of that and it's just like it would have no effect on the Mewtwo. Like during 6 and 7 star raids, like you just can't, it won't let you do it. I'm hearing lots of Pokemon cries. Because that could be a pretty funny strategy to use. I'm actually wondering if that Terra Blast wouldn't be the worst either. Have a Bug or Dark Terra type Mew. Because it's going to be a Psychic Terra type Mewtwo. It's going to be and Mewtwo is just Psychic type as well. Hey, Gengar's 85. We could just sprint him up with a bunch of candy. Give him a nice sugar high. But yeah, especially since, like, I trained this Mew in special attack and special defense. So and I think Mew has a naturally high special attack. We can actually take a look at this. Wait a minute. Who am I? What am I doing? Yeah, Mew actually, yeah, my Mew has a really good special attack and special defense. It is, so yeah, using like Terra Blast would, with a Dark type or Bug type Terra power, would probably be a pretty good idea. The only problem is it's a 5 PP move, so you'd have to, basically you'd have to win in those like in 7 turns or something like that, because you could only do a couple support chants, let everyone prepare, like maybe you learn, what is it? Like increase your special attack, like Nasty Plot or something. I thought the coloring looked off on one of those Gibbles, but it was fine. But yeah, like raise your special attack with Nasty Plot. Get everything, like do a cheer for like do an attack up cheer. And just hit him with Terra Blast. I wonder if that could work. I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting fight too, because the news article says there's gonna be something special if you bring your Mew to the fight. And then, but that could just be like, there's a special animation that happens, or maybe there's like a little cutscene before or after. And that could be it. Or who knows, maybe you get like a really unique or cool reward afterwards, after you catch the Mewtwo. We don't know this. So it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, oh, well then. Because if it's just like a cutscene, and it's getting frustrating to like beat Mewtwo, like what was it? I think it was like the Typhlosion raid battle was just an absolute ass. So if it's doing something like that, and it's just like a little cutscene, and it doesn't give you any extra reward or any extra thing like that, I wouldn't be very against just being like, okay, screw that. Where's an actual Pokemon that I can, like, what's an actual Pokemon that I can actually run, like, support with? Oh, it's just a Floette. You know, it'd be one of those things where it's just like, okay, I'm just gonna pick some guy who's defensively like the strongest against Mewtwo, and just like teach him all the support moves, or bring like a roided out Blissey or something like that, and just be like, haha, bitch, you thought, yeah, you thought. Or it could be a gameplay mechanic. It could be like, all of a sudden, like, because you bring Mew, like, it's an 8-person like raid or something. Like it's an 8v1. That'd be fucking awesome. I'm kind of hoping for something like that in the DLC too. Is just like for them to introduce like part 1. I don't know how much they're gonna do of the DLC, just because it looks like it's mainly just a new area. Some older Pokemon are returning. There's the one new legendary Pokemon. But otherwise, it just looks like, oh, it's just more of the game. Fine by me. But part 2 is where it looks like they might actually be bringing in, because they're bringing in a shit ton of Pokemon. And the area, it looks like they might be bringing in back, like, the ability to catch regional forms. Like, if you go to the ice region, who knows, maybe you'd be able to catch, like, the Alolan, Sandshrew or Vulpix. Which, that would be cool. I'd really like that, because Alolan Sandshrew and Alolan Vulpix are fucking fantastic looking. What are words? Yeah, words are words. I don't know, I feel like I was gonna yell into the void about something, but I don't know what. I can't remember what. If I was gonna yell into the void about it, it wasn't that important. You know? Hmm. Man, I'm really... Oh, I have the biggest pipe dream for Pokemon. Do you know what I really want them to do now that they have Game Boy and Game Boy Color games on Nintendo Switch Online? I want them to have the original Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. But with Pokemon Home support. I don't know how they would do it, because that's past emulation. Because that's effectively Nintendo Switch Online. They're just running a bunch of emulators on their servers, and you just kind of client into to their servers and just go, I'm running this, because it's not running on your Switch hardware, by the way. Just for in case you didn't know that. But the only thing I can think of, I think your save files are, and maybe your save states are locally saved. That'd be a lot of save states to have to save then. Otherwise, although a save state I don't think takes up much, especially on those older games. I don't think it takes up a lot of memory. Relative to today. But the only thing I could think of is they'd have to, because if your local save file and or save state file on the game is held in the fuck? Oh, get out of here. Oh, you get out of here, you. If it's held in memory somewhere, and if they can go into the save file of that save state, theoretically, they could just copy that data, be like, okay, this is... They could just grab what type of Pokemon it is, its stats. They'd have to do some things like, for example, EVs, I'm just gonna fucking get this Haunter and all them up. Yeah, wait. Hold on. How many brick breaks did I have left? Yeah, one. Alright. I can't think in... This is not a difficult game to... Whoa, hey, I don't want to give him that. Where's the lucky egg? Give an item to hold. Oh, maybe I hit restore health. Oh, sorted by type. Sort by favorites first, please. There we go. Because, yeah, EVs, for example, it turns out part of why Pokemon felt like Pokemon battles took a lot longer and they felt like they were a lot hardier and more strategies could be introduced is because EVs were effectively infinite. Did it just give the shiny animation for my Cloyster or for this Chansey? I'm not taking any chances. Chances. So, because the old games were a lot grindier as well, okay, that's my Cloyster for sure. Because I know for sure that guy's not shiny. It might have just been my Cloyster. Moxes. Let's see this. This Chansey, yeah, it was just the. Let's just go ahead and. Oh! Put away the held item. And release. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, Mew was there. I was just like, why is there no why is there a hole there? Because that's where Mew was. I just have event Pokemon up here. I know, like the mystery gift Pokemon are up there. Except for Charizard, I have him with the other Pokemon because I want to try and breed him for a shiny Charmander if I can. But yeah, I guess because the old games are so grindy that, you know, by like level 50, you know, you had fought like probably like 500 Pokemon that gave you a special attack or like special defense, like effort value or something like that. So instead of capping out at like 510 EVs, you already by like level 50, like by the time you're at like the 7th or 8th gym only, before you even think about going to the Elite Four, you have like the equivalent of like the max EVs that you can get in one stat in the new Pokemon games in like all of your categories, probably on like your starter, and that's partly also why your starter was so good. Because using him was kind of like a snowball effect. Where it's like, oh, my other Pokemon are catching up, let me use my starter. Especially as like my ace in the hole for like a gym or something. And so like you get, and they hit you with like a super effect. By the time he was like going to the Elite Four, they'd hit you with a super effective move and it'd be like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Also why, like, I guess in the old games when they had like tournaments for them and stuff like that, you could really, really fuck with somebody with like a Snorlax or a Chansey. Because you could just HP special defense and defense the shit out of those motherfuckers. Like there was no chance that they were even that they were going down. Which I personally think is kind of funny. You know? It's like, oh. Oh, jeez, I got some of these Raid Bliss. I got this Raid Blissey here. Okay, he's just the only one. It doesn't belong. Good. Where's that? Box 10, I think? Yep. There we go. But yeah, you thought like you could special defense the crap out of, or like just wall people off in like certain battles. It was like it's like, oh yeah, you may not be able to beat them, or they may not be able to beat you, but you also can't beat them for sure. And yeah, when you run out PP ult, by the way, on every Pokemon, or on all your moves on a Pokemon, and including this all the way back to Gen 1, I believe, you just had, the only damage ability you could do was a move called Struggle. And basically it dealt as much damage as it to you as it did to the enemy Pokemon. So not the greatest. But yeah, now on one hand, it's kind of cool to see Pokemon's gone like competitive, or has like a competitive scene, and I'm not taking part in it, but it's kind of cool. Because it's Pokemon, so it's literally like, you could be 10 years old, or you could be like, 100 and still play Pokemon competitively. It's not like fucking StarCraft 2 or like League of Legends, where it's like, oh, he at the ripe old age of 17. Gonna have to take him out to pasture and shoot him. You know? Not, see, they don't actually kill their pro players, but like, I forget, I was watching, usually for like StarCraft 2 stuff, I like to watch Loco. I think his YouTube name is Loco TV. I don't know what it is on Twitch, if it's the same on Twitch. Very fun, by the way, if you want to watch StarCraft stuff. Very good announcer. I like him. He's a fun guy to watch doing the announcement, doing the like the play-by-play. We'll just get one more. This Chansey's so tiny. Oh my goodness. It's a mini Chansey. But yeah, he was talking about like a StarCraft 2 player is like, oh yeah, he's just turned 25 and he's still playing StarCraft 2, like in a professional scene, and he's keeping up and like doing good at it. I'm just like, bro. First of all, I think he's as old as me. I think Loco's around like 30. But like, so I think he realizes this too, but it's just like, yeah, usually like pro esports players aren't above like 18 years old. I think like 18 to 19 is like their retirement age, usually. It's fucking wild to think about, you know? It does make me wonder, like, because if you're an actually good player, and even if you're on a team with, so they get a cut of your earnings, and like your whole team earns the, and like shares the and like your general manager and whatnot. If they all share the earnings, like you're like in Team Liquid or something like that, and you won a $2 million prize pool and in a StarCraft 2 tournament. Like, but those are literally like 14, 15. They're like literally like between the ages of like 13 and like 18 probably. It's probably like the most common ages of those players. Do they just not go to school? I'm curious to figure that out, like one of these days, of just like, how does that work? Like, how do they, how do you just like, you know, be a 13-year-old and be like, you know what, I'm gonna put off graduating like 8th grade. Or no, by 13 usually you're in fucking high school. Sometimes. I'm trying to think, hold on, how old was I? Because I would have started my freshman year of high school in the fall of 2006. So it would have been after my birthday. So I would have been, I think I was like 13 or something then, because hold on. 10 would have been 2002. Hold on, math is hard right now. It's the weekend, math is hard. You'll find out this when you get older, kids. Math becomes like basic math when you don't do it every day. It becomes fucking difficult. You turn from the human calculator and fucking coming out of college, being like, oh, I can do this derivative in my head, to being like I learned that the first year of college and I use it like every day, till being like 2 + 2. Are we sure it's 4? Like your brain second guesses even that motherfucking shit. It's no fun. No fun, I tell you. But yeah, so hold on. 2002 I was 10. Which means that by 2006 I would have been 14. Yeah, so I guess like you can kind of keep, because I mean it's an esport, so you don't have to sign on to a team. I don't know if they're actually legally allowed to sign on to a team in the US until they're 16, even with like a parent's permission. Maybe 15 they can do it. But do you just like put off going to high school until you're done playing esports? I also don't know how that works for, because South Korea is obviously a very big esports place. Just basically for any game you can think of. They're really big into it, and they have a lot of good players and teams at it. Like, I think the league, usually League of Legends and StarCraft and CSGO are like dominated by South Korean teams. And even people who are playing in those tournaments, if they're not South Korean, sometimes they'll move to South Korea to live with their team and just kind of be a little more immersed into just getting better at the game. But yeah, I do kind of wonder. So you do just like try and get through 8th grade, or primary school, or however you want to call it for all you fucking not US people. I don't know. I've heard every time I fucking they're just like, oh yes, we went to the Smisher Smasher school when we like it's like oh we call that junior. You go through grade school, and then junior high school, and then high school. I don't know where we got the names, but that's what they are. And then like in Europe, it's something fucking completely different. I don't know the school structure in Asia either. But yeah, it's fucking like I don't know, man. Like do you just like not go to like you just don't go to high school and then you study and get your GED? Like is like get a private I guess at that point if you're on a successful team or are a individually successful player, do you just like hire a private tutor and then get your GED? Because I can see not going to college, like putting that off. I mean, because that happens regularly. Like going to a university or a college, you know, people have to do that for various reasons all the time. There's nothing wrong with that either. You know, you need help out with family. It's a good break point as well, because although in your first year of college, your first year or two in college, you're trying to get all your like general education credits out of the way. You know, besides that, you can kind of study in a couple, like instead of having to study in like 6 or 7 unique subjects, you only have to study in like maybe 3 or 4, depending on what you're going into. Like for me, engineering, I needed math, and more math, and also some science knowledge. And that's about what you need to go into for engineering. Because it turns out, fun fact, science is explained by math. Yeah, you really find out, like, when you get into it, like, it's actually one of the cooler things I found out going to higher levels of math and science in college was just like, by the way, Newton knew this because he knew that calculus worked. And because he knew calculus worked, he was able to discover like the laws of motion and shit like that. And it's just like, what? And then the professor will like fucking be like, oh yeah, so he knew that this calculus worked. So he just did this and they took a derivative and that's how we find acceleration. And then like there's a bunch of principles of science that was like, oh yeah, they found out the math worked to be able to like, you know, I don't know, like a transistor would be like a thing. They would find out the math worked to that like a diode could exist or like how electricity functioned. And then they went and just like fucking worked it out as into like the lab to actually like prove that it worked and get concrete evidence. And this is like the fuck? That's wild, and it is wild. It's all math. When somebody says that math is the like language of the universe, it's fucking true. It's not a poetic piece of bullshit. It's actually just like a fact. Like oh, yeah, math is how we, you know, come across how we learned everything pretty much. That we didn't learn through experimentation while we were just a fucking species beating sticks together. It's like once we learned how to count, it was all uphill from there, or downhill from there. Hmm. Nah, I don't need to transform. What? Get out of here, Doug Trio. I'll slap your poo-paws. Oh, no. Man, I gotta say it's kind of wild. So many people have just shiny Umbreons. To see an actual one with the yellow striping that's not shiny makes me think it's shiny every time I see it. Just because I never see any, like, for some reason, somehow everyone has a shiny Eevee that they, and if it's an like has a shiny Umbreon. Like, I don't know how or why, or like that they were able to like hunt specifically like Umbreon, although that wouldn't be too difficult here. But yeah, shit's fucking wild, man. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I've seen the not shiny version so many times. It's like, oh, is this my brain sure that's not the shiny version of it? We'll go for a little bit longer today. This isn't exactly the most exciting stream. It's just me trying to level up Mew for the raid. I think, honestly, we're just gonna... Fuck it. You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna... get the last couple brick breaks out of the way. See if we can get another couple levels. And we'll just candy all 4 of these dudes that are in our party right now. So we'll just get 2 more brick breaks done effectively, and our Chansey's fainted. And then I think we'll just, yeah, we'll level them up with we'll finish leveling them with candies. And then we can, maybe we'll do a couple raids if we're still got some time after that. Try and recoup our candy loss. Not that I haven't been stockpiling it. I am very glad that they give out rare candies and like let you purchase them for not obscene amount of money. Just because it helps alleviate, like, oh, you can do something. It makes it so that way, oh, okay, grinding for money is battling, which is something fun. Versus, like, grinding for levels is going into this cave and beating up an entire herd of Chanseys for the next 6 hours, which is not fun. So I'm very glad that they let you... Actually, if I'm just gonna candy out of here, let's just go to Medali. Um, I'm very glad that they kind of revert, because it used to be in like the original Pokemon games, rare candies you only used if you were in a really rough spot training a Pokemon. Um, especially while you were training a Pokemon, like you really, to make it go quicker, you really needed type effectiveness to be a thing. So if you were if you had you were training up like your Bulbasaur, or Venusaur, or something, and the Pokemon in the area are fucking other grass type Pokemon, you had a bitch of a time leveling up fucking those motherfuckers. Okay. Let's go to candy time. Okay, we got 75 rare candies. Okay, we'll get everyone to like level, like I want to say like 98 or something, and then we'll just go rare candy from there, I think. Use this item. Just oh, he's level 80. We gotta use a bunch of these. Alright, we'll use one more large. Yeah, we'll just chuck it on Cloyster there. And then Annihilate, let's use like 4. There we go. Let's use this on Cloyster. Let's just, or not Cloyster, Gengar. Use 10. Use up 10. And we'll use another 5. 1 should do it. Ugh. I know the bars look a lot cleaner in terms of like how much your Pokemon is up to the next level, but also I would love to have just raw numbers, because I know, for example, like the large candy gives 10,000 each. What the hell? That would be nice. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and give this guy like 25. Alright. Use this on Mew and get him. No. Let's try just like 5. Alright, let's just rare candy out the last of this bunch. Honestly, I should probably try just like rare candying out from like level 95. But, you know. No, we don't have to learn Psychic. Mew learned Psychic at 100? To be fair, there aren't many other Pokemon I've ever gotten to 100 before this game. Look at that. Look at that there. Now let's go ahead and get them back in the boxes. So we can... Alright. He's number 70. I think he went right after... Yeah, 67, 70. What number is Cloister? He's number 330. 28, 330. I think this is Breloom over here. 107. Oh no, 157. 160. Oh, this is Annihilate goes here. Who goes in these spots then? So that one's completely filled out. So who goes after Lycanroc? 90, 107. So Breloom goes over here. I'm gonna use him for some raids here, so I'm just gonna toss him in there. But who goes after Lycanroc? I put a Pokemon in the wrong spot, I bet. Ooh, I got a lot of... Man, I kind of wish that Googie had a better way of doing this. So you can, like, quick delete previous searches from the app by just, like, holding it down, hitting delete. I wish I could just go to, like, highlight and delete some of these previous searches, because a lot of stuff is just like I wanted to look it up once. So I'm just like, oh, I just want to look it up once, whatever after that. But some of it, like, for example, I have one to the Wordle answer, so that way if I didn't get the Wordle for that day, I can just go and look it up. Or if I feel like cheating because I'm not, like, the Wordle's being a giant dick. Oh, Colossal goes over there. Okay. So he goes there, Breloom goes here. But yeah, I like having my search clear, so that way, like, when I want to look up the Wordle answer for today, granted, because I look that one up a lot. Let me be frank. I'm not even frank. All right, there we go. That's better. Yeah, well, Colossal has the Flame Body ability, so I need him here. Because if you have a Pokemon with the Flame Body ability along with a bunch of eggs, the eggs hatch twice as fast. So you can see who they are faster. Actually, let's just surprise trade away all these Blissies. None of them have. Make Breloom the leader. Because he's got the Brick Break move. Actually, hold on. Who else do I have that could be decent in these Blissey raids? Who else is fighting type? One of these days I'll have to... I kind of wanted to EV train. No, I didn't want to move. Check summary. Because I haven't used him at all yet. Oh, he's fully EV trained in attack already. Interesting, interesting. But I wanna... how is that? Maybe the person who, because this is a Violet exclusive Pokemon, so maybe the person had already like started EV training to some degree and was just like, this one's not the greatest, so he traded him away maybe. Or he accidentally traded me the when he was EV training. Oops. I got the Pokedex completed so long ago, though. Nah, there's nothing that can be done. But I do need to finish EV training this guy. Probably attack, I imagine, maybe special attack or defense. And just round up in HP. Just because he's extremely good in terms of fighting moves and electric moves. So he's one of the guys that people take into tournaments and stuff. So it's like, oh yeah. So getting him ready for the prime time wouldn't be a bad idea. Either that or one of these days I gotta get Slitherwing all caught up for a fighting type Pokemon, because Slitherwing's just fun. Oh yeah, with Blissey specifically, you need a physical fighting type. Makes things go faster. So right now that's Breloom for me, because he helps me hunt shiny Pokemon. But where's the Sumo Man? He could also be in here. Here we are. Yeah, the Sumo guy, I believe, is usually pretty good on that stuff too. But he's level 25, which is not helping me today or even tomorrow. Oh, there's this thing. Who knows fighting type? No, doesn't know any fighting type moves. Alright. I think I got most of the Pokemon I have right now, though. I got purely so that way they could be in my Pokedex. I kind of want to just do the surprise trades first. Oh, it's 4 o'clock already. Soon I think we'll do the surprise trades. Again, not a very exciting stream, but what are you gonna do, you know? I just kind of wanted to do a little short stream. Mainly, I knew I needed to get Mew to 100 and be ready for the raid. And now I know my Mew is ready, so I'm all prepared for the raid as best as I can beforehand. Because if it turns out that you need to not take Mew and you need to take someone else, I don't know who that else is. And I also don't know what moves or like how they need to be EV trained or anything like that. Because for something like Mewtwo, they always really give it a big fucking swinging dick. I don't know how else to describe it. We both traded for raid Pokemon. Yeah, let's get another surprise trade going. Yep, raid Pokemon. Let's trade it. That's funny. What was I wording? Yeah, so because they always give Mewtwo a big swinging dick in terms of difficulty. Granted, it's cool that they're still like, you know, what would this be? 1996 was technically the launch in Japan. 27 years later? they are like Mewtwo is still like, oh, this is gonna be a like you see Mewtwo and you're like, this is gonna be fucking difficult. Like holy ducks. There are a few other Pokemon like that, like what do you call it? I know a lot of the starter Pokemon with these special raids have been. Oh, it's an Italian Citadel. But yeah, that is a like some of the starter Pokemon they've had like be actually really tough raids. But yeah, even other legendaries, I don't think they've made as tough to get or anything like that. Oh look, a Slowbro. Why did this guy send me a Slowbro? And why am I sending... Oh, it was a raid Pokemon. Can tell because the Terror type is off from what it usually is. Let's try that again. Yeah, so I am very much like, I'm like, okay, I've done what I can. I'm prepared for the worst kind of situation for this Mewtwo raid. Because it could just be a big fucking pain in the fuck. Ah! Oh, goodness. That's really... It's pretty funny that this keeps happening. Where everyone is just like, you know what? I want to catch these Blissies because I can't tell if they're shiny or not. Let's, But then they feel bad like me, just like getting rid of a perfectly good Blissey. Or like releasing a perfectly good Blissey so we can just keep surprise trading. And being like, hopefully someone wants it or is willing to just release it. Oh, female Combi. I don't know. Also, one thing that I get that's kind of the point of Pokemon is that they're like animals and they're supposed to be wild and they're supposed to be abundant. But when it comes to like trading and like getting rid of them, it's kind of weird. It'd be like being like, "Oh, hey, I got a pet." Oh, you got a cool pet too. What if we traded pets? It'd be like, what if I traded your rabbit that you've known and had for 5 years and that, you know, comes up to you and does like tricks and snuggles with you for my cat that also does like comes and snuggles me and stuff like that and loves me. I guess nobody really does that for Pokemon that they actually like and use. But it's just kind of... It's always been a strange concept to me. Of just being like... like, yeah, we're gonna fucking trade this guy away. I guess technically in canon, it's kind of like in real life, where it's like, if you've only known it for 5 minutes, it is what it is. But I don't know, these are very specifically moral implications. I guess at least you're just releasing it back into the wild. Jwaniki... Hold on, what was that guy's name? Jwaniki Star 12? What the fuck? Fucano? No, what the shit is this thing? That it's not the menu's not the plus button. Why is it not the plus button? Oh, this is the German Growlith. Oh, so Germany. Somebody was definitely shiny hunting for this. Yeah, okay, it hatched from an egg. On 8, yeah, so... Okay. Oh! I know what this is. We're gonna put him in the special place, or over here now. No, not over here. Where's a good place? Let's put him in the shiny box. Actually, it's just like we'll put him in as if he was an event Pokemon. He wasn't, but you know what? He'll get his own row. Pokemon Legends Arceus. He's from that game. He's like a different variant of Growlithe from that game. I didn't think I'd get one of those. That's kind of awesome. Thank you, Surprise Tradey Boy. Surprise Trademan. In that case, we are going to go ahead and release some of these dudes. Get some dude releasing. I do want to release it. Oh, I really wish I could just group them up and just be like, release them. Especially with how much, like, trading and shit I do now. That reminds me, maybe next time I jump on this game, I will be trying to shiny breed for like a shiny like Charmander or something like that. Who else was I trying to shiny breed for? Because I don't... The only starter... No offense to the other starters in this game that weren't Fuecoco, but look at this guy. He's adorable. And he turns into a big, cool looking crocodile. But like Meowscarda and Quaquaval are just not... I don't know. They just didn't do it for me. Meowscarda grew on me a little more. It still looks like a furry in a costume. Quaquaval, I like the flamenco dancer idea. I don't know what it is. Something is just it's hitting the uncanny valley for me. It maybe is what it is. It's something is off where I don't like the design. I was about to say I'm not a big fan of it, but no, I just actually don't like the design. It feels close, but not quite to me. But everyone else, I should be able to pretty much shiny... I shouldn't have to, like, breed to shiny hunt. The only ones I can think of that I would have to do that for are... Yeah, the only ones I can think that I would like to maybe shiny hunt the evolutions. Just because who doesn't like to shiny hunt who doesn't want all the shiny evolutions? That is one thing that I will say. I think Glaceon just gets like a little lighter blue, but pretty much all the other ones are actually like pretty good. Oh, and I think Flareon it's just like instead of orange, it's like a dark brown. Kind of weird. But the other ones are pretty alright, I think. I can't remember what Jolteon's is. But yeah, maybe you shiny hunt the evolutions. Let me just look at these other Pokemon that are here. Yeah, I don't know if there are any other Pokemon that I'm like, yeah, I gotta shiny hunt it. Maybe some of these Paradox Pokemon I wouldn't mind shiny hunting, but you can't breed shiny hunt them. So the only other ones I think are just going to be the starters. And now that I have a Charizard, it might go the order of like Charizard for a shiny Charmander, try and get a shiny Hisuian Zorua. Because that Growlithe is from the same, is also, yeah, I think that's what they call it, Hisuian, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that's where the Zoroark is from. It's from that same game. Or this type of Zoroark. But then it would probably be, so it's probably going to be Charmander, Zorua. Maybe Oshawott would be next. I think Oshawott would be next because Oshawott's fucking adorable. Typhlosion is cool though. Yeah, I think it'd go. Oh, and Rowlet though, but I could get a shiny Doctor Who. Rowlet has a fucking bow tie, so he's totally Doctor Who. But yeah, maybe that'll be the plan. So just be like, oh yeah, go for a Charmander, then Zorua, Oshawott, Typhlosion, then Doctor Who. But whatever. In the meantime, Froakie, where's my... Wait, hold on. If Froakie's there, where is, because there's Inteleon. There's this guy who's just dopey and great. Hold on, I'm missing, Dude Man. Hold on. Oh! I remember now. Okay, Froakie is there. Because that was, I think he was like I think Greninja was like the second raid, and so I didn't have any Pokemon that were leveled up enough for the raiding by then. So I think I just got some Froakies and some trades. And I have to level one up actually into Greninja so I can breed it with for a shiny. But anyway, that'll be enough out of my face hole today. I've been talking at you long enough. I'll see. I'm getting a little hungry. I'm gonna probably reheat some pizza. Sounds good. And I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully, shit. Probably Thursday at the earliest is going to be when I can stream next. And I think I'm gonna try and jump back into what do you call it? Jedi Survivor. I think for the next stream finally again. Just because Jedi Survivor needs to be finished. I need to play it and I need to beat it. I was having a lot of fun with it, but unfortunately Tears of the Kingdom came out. And now and that's caused a backlog of like 100 games, it feels like. So we're gonna inch through it with Jedi Survivor.